of your play sessions. But yes, I mean the game has been very much designed with speedrunners in mind, and the fact that you guys picked it up, really truly means a lot. It was kind of like the intent because as we've discussed a little bit on you guys' Discord, no one here really runs. We can't really run, but we're big fans of events like GDQ and things like that. And so to have made a game that was even taken there by Strizer, no, it's a real honor, and we really hope that you guys will keep on playing it because we certainly plan on supporting it. It's a beautiful thing. Then we have Goober Barbarian again. Will we ever get P2 merch? Silva, this one's for Silva. Hello everyone, it's Thierry from Sabotage here. Welcome to this first ever Sabobo Direct, where we not only answer questions from our community on Discord, but also make a few exciting announcements, and we'll even tease today a bit of music from our upcoming DLC Picnic Panic. Rainbow Dragon Eyes is also in the studio with us this week, so we'll take a few questions related more to the soundtrack and its creation. So strap yourself in as we do the thing! Before we jump in, I hope you understand I will be butchering your names once again. So the first question today is from RNQQ, who asks, how's your day been? Well, our day has been great, thank you very much. Everyone's in the studio, we're all really excited. We got past a pretty bad snowstorm this week, but that's behind us now. We're all very much hard at work and really excited to be showing you guys what we've been working on hopefully soon. So next question is from Delphin, who asks, what happens to Bowman after he gives the scroll to Ninja? So that's not really clearly defined, because as you know, all we have is Ninja's book, right? So we only have the story from his perspective. There's a few information between the lines there, it's not really clear, but it seems like Bowman wasn't actually the messenger right before Ninja, but was rather tasked with grabbing the scroll and just taking it to him real quick, which may or may not be related to another messenger who kind of like became fallen, you know. And I know that the other thing was, I know that Bowman's main villain was Barmathazel, actually. So yeah, other than that, I can't really tell. Then we have Goober Barbarian. Hey, Thierry, what's your favorite type of tea? I like the classic chai latte. And when it comes to herbal tea, I like a mix of ginger and Ruibos, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but like R-O-I-B-O-S. So I kind of like when these two mix together, hot or cold. It's pretty good. So what do you want? I'm filming. Okay. An important message, it seems. The messenger is coming to PS4. Well, the messenger is coming to PS4, it seems. Alright, so let's keep going. Piranha Pig wants to know, do you enjoy seeing speedrunners like me beat your game as fast as possible? Yes. I don't know about Piranha Pig specifically. We did watch a few of your play sessions. But yes, I mean, the game has been very much designed with you know, speedrunners in mind, and the fact that you guys picked it up, you know, really truly means a lot. It was kind of like the intent, because you know, as we've discussed a little bit on you guys' Discord, no one here really runs. You know, we can't really run, but we're big fans of you know, events like GDQ and things like that. And so to have made a game that was even taken there by Strizer, you know, no, it's yeah, it's a real honor, and we really hope that you guys will keep on playing it, because we certainly plan on supporting it. It's a beautiful thing. Then we have Goober Barbarian again. Will we ever get P2 merch? Sylvain? This one's for Sylvain. So you're rocking that P2 merch today, Sylvain?
Yeah, my P2 Dogo shirt.
So you did the shirt yourself, and you did the hat yourself?
I did the hat, yeah.
And I think we have a lot of people who would like to buy it. Is it on sale? Do you have your own online store where you design clothes?
Not yet.
Not yet?
It's coming, yeah. I'm
on
it, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Alright, we'll get a few pre-orders in for you. Alright, so I mean, maybe one day, I know that Sylvain is probably crazy enough to actually do it, if you guys get behind it. Anyway, so then we have Kame sent in our new mod. Hi Kame. You mentioned that this DLC will feature 3 levels. Can we expect them to be longer than the traditional levels of the linear portion of the main game? Briefly, yes. Slightly. I should say slightly, yes. Will there be a good amount of new dialogue? I am especially looking forward to some more shopkeeper interactions, since the other characters will be alternates. Just to be clear, Barmathazel is not alternate, he came from Ninja's timeline as well, but I see what you're saying there. There will be more shopkeeper for sure. You know, there's more where that came from. You walk into the shop in a new area, you expect your story, you will get your story. Though there's no cabinet rent, because the cabinet is gone, it's been replaced by a jukebox. Of course, that's unless you can find it. Alright, so moving on, what's wrong? What's happening again? Another paper. Special Reserve Games will be doing physical Switch and PS4 editions with premium collectibles in the box. There's even gonna be a booklet. They will announce a pre-sale date soon. Alright, so we should probably follow special reserves then, I guess. Alright, then Wobbly Python. Can you tell us more about the process in going from placeholder art to final designs? How much of it is based on traditional mythological stuff we may not generally be aware of? Well, that's a good one. Well, I mean, when it comes to the traditional or mythological stuff, you know, that's bound to bleed into anything that we do. You know, the stories we're told as kids, the movies we watch, the heroes we look up to when we're younger. You know, so there's no way, I don't think anyone can say like, no, I created something entirely from scratch, like I invented the concept of flight or whatever, you know. So I think we're subconsciously building on top of things that we took in, right? To think of a specific, you know, outside of obviously Ninja Gaiden, you know, and the Phantom of the Opera without spoilers, that plays a small part in the game in tying a romantic angle to the story. But yeah, the process of going from placeholder art to final designs. I mean, I have my. I can probably just show you like. Hold on. I'll find a good example. Yeah. Okay. So here, this one here. What happens is I draw really bad. But then I'll do something like this. So that's the Demon King before. It was supposed to add the 4 heads, but I didn't care to draw the details. But that was basically the concept for that fight. Oh, I'm trying to get it into focus. So it's like, hey, see, you're riding a rocket here, and it was supposed to like be throwing bombs instead of having heads that shoot fire. That it became like easier to make it. It became cooler. I mean, to make it more organic than like using tools, you know. So that's what we start from, and then the team is always very kind with me. They never laugh at my terrible sketches, you know. Then they just try to take in the concept, and then they propose. They'll start sketching more properly, and then eventually we get to the pixel art and the animation, and then it ends up in game. But the very first step is really not much to look at. So then we have Heather. You mentioned that bosses in the DLC will have a scripted pattern for first encounter. Will you be changing the original bosses to have that as well? So for those who don't know, so Heather is a speedrunner, and I think what she mentions here is that how, you know, the random in the game means that the boss can have different patterns if you die and go again, or even the first time around, and so that if you're a speedrunner and you're trying to like, you always want to see the same pattern so that it doesn't fall to the roll of a dice whether or not you'll beat your score. It should be all your performance. It shouldn't be like whether or not the game gave you the number that you wanted, if that makes sense. And so to address that, with all new bosses moving forward, we'll make the patterns fixed for any first attempt. So that if you're a speedrunner, obviously you don't die during a boss, and so you can know what you're getting into. If you're racing against someone, you don't lose because of the random. Now, as to whether or not we will backtrack this fix to also implement it in earlier bosses, I know Ruxton is a big one, and the Colossuses is also another big one for that. We'd like to do it, but we don't want to. We'd have to check in with the speedrunners first. I guess if you're asking, it's probably a thing you guys would like to see in there. But I guess we'll just drop into or come talk to us on our Discord, and we'll try to figure it out. But if it makes sense for you all, that we don't want to like turn the table on you guys as the strategies are being developed. But if it's a change that you all want to see, we could certainly look into that, and it should be a small effort for us. So if it's a win-win, yes, we'll do it. Then we have OSHI. Yeah, I'm not pronouncing that one. Are you planning to create new games after the Messenger? No, we're starting a poutine joint, and you can come and eat poutine with us as we reminisce on the old days of the Messenger. Then Kuningas EST, the guy who got the record on his birthday, and AJ, the friendly crocodile NPC. They both want to know Voodkin/Phobkin plushies when. I guess we'd all like to see them. I'm even surprised Quarble isn't mentioned in there, because we get that a lot too. Of course we're interested, you know, in exploring all forms of, you know, celebrating what this game is, you know, because we're still not over the reception that we got, you know, and so we're trying to, as we want to also, you know, as a game studio, our main objective or responsibility should be to put more games out. So that's the main thing that we're doing, obviously. But yes, we would very much like to see our characters, you know, come to life or at least be interpreted in different medias, and plushies very much included. But it's just that we have a lot in the works right now. So nothing is off the table, but we don't have a set timeline for something that specific. All right, so I think the next questions... Yeah, the next questions are all for or at least the next segment is all for Rainbow Dragon Eyes. So, yo, Eric? Eric?
Good evening.
Whoa! There you are.
It's a little joke I like to do.
All right, it's a good one.
Okay.
All right, so you ready for some questions, man?
Sure.
All right.
What we got here?
So we have Jack here for RDE. How was it composing music for the game, and how was it different compared to making your original tracks on LSDJ compared to FamiTracker / Deflamask?
How was it? Well, I guess it was pretty cool. You know, it was a lot of fun because it was was presented with task and trying to set the tone ahead of time. Pretty much, I don't know. Writing music. The tools were slightly different. I had more channels to work with, so there's that. But the main thing was making it loop.
Right. So LSDJ, for those who don't know,
is a Game Boy music making software.
Right.
Runs on the Game Boy. That's kind of how this guy found me in the first place.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. See, compose music on Game Boy. It leads to working in games. It's like, all right. So then we have a second question. Ruler 9. Okay, question for Rainbow Dragon Eyes. Which tune from the Messenger do you think would be the most fun playing with a live band?
Probably any of them, as long as the live band was sick. If the drummer was better than me and the guitar player could really shred, then I don't know. I think Glacial Peak would be a good choice.
Oh yeah, Glacial Peak.
I think
that would be a good one.
Turquoise would be a good choice. You know?
Yeah.
Honestly, just pick any of them. But
interesting.
If the players are there.
Oh,
I'm down for you. Oh, for me? Wow, thanks.
Okay.
All right.
There's messages today. Yeah.
Look forward to something with. Let me start over. Look forward to something with I Am 8-Bit soon too. Look forward to something.
Something with I Am 8-Bit.
I wonder what that could be.
I have no idea what that could be or why you would be there when we get this specific one. But
that was really good timing.
You know, just like urgent messages.
Just to be here doing this.
Yeah. It's like
crazy
day. All right. So up next is Clap J for RDE. What was your process for making past and future versions, so 8 and 16 bits obviously, of each song? Where did you start?
Well, I started from the beginning, mostly. So the process was using two different programs because I insisted on doing it that way. Because you could actually play back the past tracks on a Nintendo. You can play back the future tracks on a Genesis.
Right.
And I just had to use two different programs to make that possible. And so I don't know.
So would you usually, like in looking for the hook or the main melody, start off with the 8-bit and then port it over to 16-bit, or do 16 first? Or?
I think not exclusively, but I think that's what I ended up doing for most of it. Yeah.
Right.
But then there are some tracks that are not. They were not in both dimensions.
Right. Ooh, dimensions.
Yeah.
All right. Up next is G Virus. Can you give Sir at Rainbow Dragon Eyes a high five for me? Thanks. Can I give you a high five for G Virus?
Let's do it.
All right. Ooh.
Sorry, it had to be done.
Sorry, G Virus. He went there. All right. Then we have Dozbox Falco. Does RDE listen to his own music? Of course he does, to listen to it as a test, but I mean on the regular.
I've actually never heard anything I've written. It's sort of like a weird phase cancellation. As soon as it comes out,
really,
I just can't hear it anymore. So.
Oh, for real? Like, no, but like, say you're going in the car somewhere on a Sunday, would you be like, "Oh, I'll play my album and it'll be fun to like look back," or it would take a few years, right, at least, or?
Never really thought about that.
Huh. Well, good question, Dozbox Falco. You have our guy stumped.
I'll check it out sometime.
So then, Guided Gravity, RDE, what music inspired you or that you referenced with the Messenger's music?
Yeah, I don't know why I hate this question so much, but I listen to a lot of his there's nothing specific that I referenced or was listening to while I created this. I listen to a lot of metal. I listen to a lot of game soundtracks. I listen to a lot of electronic music.
Right.
And it's all just swimming around up there, you know. And then I just try to come up with something I like and that fits the application. That's all I got on that.
All right. So last one for you, RDE. So it's from Soleil and it's a lengthy one. Rainbow Dragon Eyes. Could you give us some insight on the lyrics making process? Is it difficult to make lyrics and ones that rhyme, or does it come easily to you now since you've been making music for years? Do you try to make a story or try to capture specific feelings with those lyrics? Do you compromise the story or feelings a little bit in order to get words to rhyme? Or is rhyming not a huge priority? And have you ever had ideas for lyrics and then built a song around that, or is it usually song first then lyrics later? Yes?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's break it down a little bit. Okay. Right. So, insight on the lyrics making process. Difficult to make lyrics and ones that rhyme. I think it's difficult to make good lyrics. I think it's very, very easy to make bad lyrics. As the lyrics of Bamboo Creek will teach.
Official lyrics.
The official lyrics. Let's see. What was next? Does it come easily now that I've been making for years? No, it's never come easily. It's a lot of revisions. You kind of sort of, you start to figure out patterns and stuff and you just sort of unlock different techniques and you just develop it over time. But then as soon as you do that, there's another level of unlocking and developing, and it's a lifelong journey. Do I try to make a story? Yeah, sometimes it depends. Like for my own original stuff, I like to just tell weird stories about made up things.
Right.
And, let's see, what else we got here?
I think like which would it be? Is it like the music to the lyrics or the other way around in general? Like if you had to compromise on one of the two, which one would like have priority?
I guess, okay, that's a good question. I guess the priority would go to the music. Generally, the music comes first and lyrics come after that. But usually I'll try to fit a certain number of syllables in a verse, for instance. But sometimes I'll have a good lyrical idea and then want to make a song around that. So.
Great. All right. Hey, thanks for taking some questions today.
Thanks for having me.
Since you're here, could you maybe like bless us with a teaser for one of the tracks you're working on for Picnic Panic, maybe?
Yeah, they can do that.
Can we hit the music now?
All right, let's hit it.
All right. All right, so back to non-music related questions. So Soleil wants to know what's Ninja's favorite food. I don't know if it's a food, but it's like when you have a bowl of vanilla yogurt with maple syrup. That's the fuel for ninjas. Then we have Delphine again. Colas versus Suces. Who would win? That's a very ironic thing to be asking. I would advise you stay tuned on our Discord. Goober Barbarian, what is the canon height of one tile in the Messenger? Alright, so that's kind of a meme on our Discord because first Q&A they asked what is the canon ninja's height, and we just said it was 2 tiles. And so for the canon height for 1 tile, I guess we need to ask the man himself, Mick. Alright, Mick is okay, Mick, the people need to know. What is the canon height of 1 tile in the Messenger?
It's a good question, actually. It's 1/2 of a ninja, I think.
Oh! Alright. Well, there we have it. Alright, so half a ninja is the exact metric here. Alright, then we have... Alright, then we have Dime wants to know. What is the Artificer's obsession with doing the thing? Yeah, so doing the thing is like transforming in the big arcane golem. The Artificer wasn't explored a lot as to, you know, any backstory or anything. But I always pictured the Artificer as being having more being a child actually, or being at least really young. And you know, when you're young and you're like, oh, what if we had superpowers? What if we could fly? What if we could like throw fireballs? You know, it's like just because it's cool, you'd be doing it all the time. And so basically, that's the deal with the Artificer, is that he's always just so really excited to turn into this big thing, you know. And the other blue robes are like, hey, not now. You know, all in due time, there'll be a moment for this. And he's always just kind of like a child, always really excited for the next moment. Like, can we play games now? You know. So that's all there is to it. And then what's... I swear today it's a nice hat, Martin. All right, we have another paper. Trying to answer questions here. All right, so we will be at PAX East showing Picnic Panic with a playable demo. Come meet Mick, Savannah, Sylvain, Thierry, and Rainbow Dragon Eyes. We will also have Penny Arcade Ninja Pin. We will have a Fan Gamer exclusive Shopkeeper Pin. And we will have a new Devolver Messenger t-shirt. So that's in Boston, March 28th to 31st, I believe. And if you want to come see us, if you're on the East Coast, or not, if you want to fly to the East Coast, that's cool too. So we'll be there. You can try Picnic Panic for a few minutes. We'll have some goodies. It will be a good time for sure. So come say hi. All right. So then we have Soleil again. Is Ruxton an actual skeleton or a guy wearing a skeleton costume? I mean, not that it's mutually exclusive, but Ruxton is not a skeleton. But when it comes to Ruxton, I suggest just once you play a Picnic Panic, you'll have a little surprise on Ruxton's backstory there. And I'll give you infinite time shards if you can guess what it is. All right. Next question is from Spider Ben B. What programs do the artists use for creating all the assets in the game? Okay, let's grab Savannah on this one. You there, Sav? All right. Okay, cool. Come on up. Hi, Savannah.
Hi.
All right, so Spider Ben B wants to know what programs the artists use for creating all the assets in the game.
Most of all our assets are done in Pixel Edit.
That's Pixel with a Y, right?
Yeah, Pixel with a Y.
Okay.
It's like $10 online. It's great for pixel art and animation.
Cool.
Sometimes if we need to use like a flat surface to animate it like in 3D-ish style, we use Flash.
Okay.
And
I think the butterfly was made like that,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
The butterfly matriarch's wings are made in Flash.
Right.
And sometimes we use Photoshop for specific effects and stuff like that, especially if opacity is needed. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
And then you just have the good old like graphics tablet with the pen.
We've got our tablets.
Cool. And then Mick for the level art, it's roughly the same. You use Photoshop.
Photoshop,
and,
yeah. Most definitely.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So there you have it, Spider. All right. So then we have Oran QQ. What is Manfred's birth name? What is Boyfred? All right. Goober Barbarian. Why are you called Sabotage? And why that logo? That's a big one. Well, so why Sabotage? So the first thing is we're based in Quebec, right? So if you couldn't tell from the accent, we're French. And so in wanting to do business worldwide, we need to have a name that works. That's not a very specific thing in French that people can't either pronounce or even write down because of complex characters. So we wanted a word that worked both in English and in French. And also it started off, so Martin, we co-founded the company together, and the one thing we had in common, obviously outside of video games, you can't really, like if you go into the video games industry and be like, hey, we bring games, it's, of course that's what you're gonna do, so what's your edge, what's the thing that's not related to gaming that you bring, that's your own sort of identity, and for us it was the punk culture. We first bonded over the fact that I had a NoFX t-shirt on, and he was like, hey, I'm into that band, and that's how we became fast friends just around that. And this idea of, just punk values in general, this commenting on the passage of icons through time and integrity and keeping it, keeping a cool head. It was very much part of the wish and the intention. When it comes to the logo, I guess I'll only speak for myself. I really like the monkey skull with a crown because from being a developer for many years before doing that in bigger studios, it kind of becomes. I kind of had my own issues with higher ups not being truly passionate about games. That I felt sometimes they'd be selling cars if that were the trend, and they would treat some tasks that have to do with game dev, as oh, that's just monkey work, and I kind of always had that like frustration in me that like you're treating me as if I need you and you don't need me, but it's kind of the other way around because I'm passionate and you're not really, and that's not to make a general point about any higher ups. I mean, I can only speak for myself here and my personal experience, but to me this idea of putting a crown on the monkey is like, let's see what happens next, and I guess we can say so far so good. Then final question from Boo. Do you have global stats regarding how many time shards have been given to or taken by our good fellow and savior of Ninja? I really hope you put a pin on that question because really shortly you'll be able to see how ironic it was to ask about global tracking of time shards. I'll leave it at that for now. So that's it for today, unless Carl, do you also have a message for me, or since everyone seems to... Oh, you do? All right. So the Messenger will be out on PS4 next week, so that's March 19. March 19 will be on PS4, so you can get it next week. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in today. I'm Thierry again from Sabotage, and from everyone here, we thank you for playing our game. It's a real honor, and again, we'll keep on supporting it as long as there's interest for it. So you all have a good day. Hello everyone, it's Thierry from Sabotage here. Welcome to this first ever Sabobo Direct, where we not only answer questions from our community on Discord, but also make a